So let's just settle into our meditation, like a comfortable seated position. So David, I can see you're sitting cross-legged. Everybody else, I think, is sitting in a chair, except for those ones I can't see. And feet, for those of you who've got your feet down, just really try and connect with the ground through the feet. Helps to ground us. You can feel the soles, the heels, side of the foot, the ball mound, the pinky mound, and the toe pads. And I learned recently that we have 3 arches in our feet. The median arch, which is the one that we all know about. There's another arch in between our toes and our foot. And there's this outer arch that we have on the side of underneath the side of the foot. So maybe try and connect with your feet a little bit more. What we do with our feet affects our knees and our hips. They're quite important to us. So we also can ground through our feet. So just imagine your knees are over your ankles. Perhaps if your knees are about hips width apart, be sitting right on top of your sits bones, shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine as a string of pearls of light. It stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just put some space in between those vertebrae. And then just relax the scalp, the crown of the head, relax the face, relax the back of the head, relax the ears, the temple, the jaw, relax the back of the neck and the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then just notice the breath, the sensation of the breath as it floats in and out of the nostrils. Inhale and exhale. Particularly important to remember to breathe, particularly on Zoom. You know, there is some studies coming out where people's breath changes when they're in front of their computer. Don't know if it's something to do with the EMFs or what it is exactly, but try and keep your breathing as regular as possible. It helps to keep the mind stable. Notice if there's any sound in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. We've just had a storm pass through with thunder and rain. It seems to be heralding winter. And then just notice the thoughts that are arising in the mind. You might just be feeling happy and relaxed. So just observe what's coming up. You may have had a stressful day. You may be feeling like you're trying to work out what's happening tomorrow. You can categorize all these thoughts if you wish. Planning, thinking, remembering. And then in order to put some space between the thoughts, you can perhaps bundle them up and put them on a nice fluffy white cloud or a beautiful lotus and just allow them to float away. This is just an image perhaps you can create in the mind. Always remembering to be compassionate with what's going on inside you, to treat yourself with care and kindness. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, those people in our life who we're not so keen on, and then our strangers, remembering they can all change place at any time. They're all equal in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So I think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings, and thinking specifically of this precious Geshe. I think some people are calling him Geshe Tenzin. He has also maybe a previous name of Dodol. Anyway, he's seems to have vanished, and it's a bit disturbing. So many strong prayers for him to be found and to be safely brought home. So remembering there is no negativity that can't be purified. These are Lama Yeshe's words. This purification process is a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind so we can equally change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering, we don't want necessarily any more. So logically, it does make sense to remove those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can purify ourselves with. So how amazing that we have this, we actually have something that we can do to ameliorate all these kind of delusions that we have that cause us to act in weird ways. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion, has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long. They're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So think of the beings you have harmed and those who have harmed you, and just have a strong wish for them to be free from suffering. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, and it fills you completely. it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinopatita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya satra ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinopatita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mata vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita tita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is the purification of your speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs. This speech we have often where we're inappropriate or we don't know how to say the right thing at the right time. Just imagine all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manu Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. This arcs around, it enters your crown and fills your entire being. And it's the same as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness. It's the same here. The light just kind of blasts away all of the negativity and the delusions and the attachment and the neediness and the anger and bitterness and grudges and resentment, jealousy, all of this. It's just instantly dispelled by this light. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, and this is the cause of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. Imagine they're completely purified, they're gone, and think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar It fills you completely and eradicates all this kind of negative energy, the subtlest, tiniest imprints of this negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom. Okay. Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. We have to make a decision to refrain from harming. We've got to make a decision that we want to change our habits. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. And this determination, this aspiration to not harm, it becomes like a beacon. It's like guardrails that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. And I heard on the recording tonight, Lama Rinpoche was talking about, everything exists on the tip of the aspirations, which I thought was so sweet. Anyway, as so, whatever you've been thinking about, whatever you've been trying to work on, just keep going step by step, humbly, quietly. Just notice any changes, rejoice in your progress. So Vajrasattva, imagine, is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, a little bit on emptiness. And in emptiness, there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So however much you understand about emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. And this, we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. We can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening doing this practice to all living beings. And I forgot about the turkeys. This is another practice to dedicate for all the turkeys that have been killed and all the people that have been involved in their killing, the production of packaging them up and selling them off. So imagine, may this purification practice be dedicated to that whole business, and then to the safe return of Geshe-la. And it doesn't look like Coral's feeling terribly well, or she sometimes has, she's probably still not very well, and for our dear Hin. So may all this virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then strong wishes for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and the long lives of any of your own teachers. Okay, and again, a hearty congratulations to you, David. May you have a very blessed and long life, and well done. Okay, lots of love, everybody. Good night. I will see some of you tomorrow morning. We're going to do Tara if you'd like to come and join. Okay, bye-bye.